Okay, we are here, and bit of a technical difficulty here with the audio for a while, but there's 4 minutes left in Q1. Full line down goes right now. We've got King James P1, DRL Alex P2, Fake Scouser. I'm gonna try hard with these names. P3, Nate Smith, P4, Parker 1402, P5, Mick Nivich, P6, Lil Majin, P7, Carlo, P8, Nizam, P9, Kavalin 11, P10. We got Double Rejected, P11, Don't Give a Fuck About Nothing, P12, Beckel, P13, P14, Just Dave, P15. We have C. Faulkner, P16, Dusty Fake, P17, Meep, P18, DK, P19, Faisal, and P20, Sheepers 90. Give me one more second, I will be right back. Set one more thing up for you guys. Okay, we're back. We got Double Rejected coming back in. He's P11 right now with a 105.9. 3 minutes left. We'll see if we get one more lap for everybody else on the grid. See if they can get one more go at it. Let's see who's on their out lap. Don't give a fuck about nothing on his out lap. See if he can get up into the top 10. We got Dusty Fake and Meep out on track to get maybe one more lap to see where they can put themselves on the grid. If you're just tuning in, this is the Austrian Grand Prix. Looked like they had a little rain earlier in qualifying. Got Alex getting out onto the track for his last go, along with Nisam and Dusty again. Looks like Alex is a couple of hundreds off of P1. Guys, coming around just off the turn 3. Alright, we're getting some action. Everybody coming out now. Let's see who's furthest out. Okay, DK up to P8 after his lap. Not bad. Meep with the fastest lap at 104.4, taking P1. Let's see if I can get who's out here, who's going. He's coming in. Looks like we got Don't Give a Fuck About Nothing out on his hot lap. Down the back straight to turn 4. Wish I knew the names of these turns, but I could easily bring up a track guide for that. So let me go ahead and do that. As I'm doing that, looks like he's got a good run coming out. We got Nizam taking P1 with a 104.2, puts about a little over 1.5 tenths. And just before I can finish out, we got Alex in P1 with a 103.9, the first into the 103s. Let's see what Carlo can do. Let's see what Carlos can do. And that is it for qualifying. We got Kvalan up to P6. Parker at P8. Let's see where he can funnel in, and he is up to P6 with the 104. Very small margin from P1 to P8. Anybody else on track? Okay, we got Parker coming around. He's done, I think. He's going into the pits. One just fly by. I believe Devil Rejected is on his final flyer. Let's see what he can do for quali. Coming around the last two corners. Keeps it inside the lines. And looks like he's staying at P17. Looks like we're finishing up qualifying here. Go do the rundown. We got P1 Alex, P2 King James, P3 Nizam, P4 C Faulkner, P5 Meat, P6 Dusty, P7 Carlos Killer, P8 Kvalan, P9 Fake Scouser, P10 Lil Majin, P11 Parker, P12 Naismith, McNivich, DK, Just Dave, Becco, P12, 13, 14, 15. And that is it for quali. Next is the race, so let me get more set up as we take a little break into them getting set up for a 50% race at the Austrian Grand Prix. Okay, we're back and we're waiting for the players to get their cars set up, tires put on, fuels leveled. And then we will be off for the Austrian Grand Prix. Learn some commentating controls, if any. There we go. We are good to go. Lights are going on. And we are off. Let's Going into down to turn one, we got King James. Oh, pushing Alex a little off, but he gets back on track. And in P1, he tucks in right behind him. Looks like we got a guy stuck on the grid. Don't give a fuck about nothing. Then he's on go. Big Pilo coming in. Looks like Lil Majin taking a dive. Car coming up to fix Scouser. Doesn't see the car fitting. He funnels in right behind him. Cavalin right behind him on that. And then we got his teammate Parker coming around. And we got Lil Majin, Nate Smith, McNivich, DK, Cabty. I'm gonna get that name right. Ooh, somebody went off, looks like. DK retires from this session. I don't know what happened there. Into the last corner goes Cavalin. Up to P9, and we got a safety car. We got Lil Majin coming in. And behind him we have... Where are they? Little double stack for Alpine. And he's off. Didn't see a wing trade there, maybe just to get a little advantage on tires and pit strategy. Anyway, pace car is out on lap 2. Got Alex in P1, King James in P2. Look out for that battle up front. Nizam, C. Faulkner. Meat running out the top 5. King James in P2. Very tight going into P1 after that start. But they kept it clean and kept it on track. It's already lap 2, or it's on a safety car at lap 2 already. Possible pit strategies, lap 17 for the first pit. We're starting on mediums. 50% safety car probability at the Austrian Grand Prix. We're here on lap 2 and we're already into that. So we're at 100% right now for today. Most overtakes in the Austrian Grand Prix was in 2022 at 135. Let's see if we can get an exciting race today just like that. Didn't get to mention that the track is about 4.3 kilometers. First Grand Prix was in 1964. The most poles, Alan Prost, and of course Max Verstappen. This is one of his home races. A dusty fake with a DNF. Not sure what happened there, but it seems to be pulled off to the side of the road. So we got 2 DNFs so far and a disqualification. Don't give a fuck about nothing. Was disqualified at the beginning of the race. Looks like Alex is... Well, it looked like he was going into the pits, so he's staying out. Maybe one more lap under safety car, and then we'll go back underway. Let's see the tire situation here. Alex on mediums, King James on the medium, and Nizam on the softs. See if the softs give him the advantage on the start. Looks like the majority of them are on mediums. Got a few on hards. Looks like McLaren is splitting their strategy. So we got one more Alpine to catch up to the back of the pack, as I believe we're gonna go green on this lap. Alex is going to slow the group up just a little bit, let that safety car get up into the pits and out the way, so we can go racing. One more again. Let's see if we can keep it green. Pole run was to turn 1 is about 233 meters. That can be very exciting, but coming off the last turn to go green, Alex created a little bit of space. Looks like he's not going to be under too much pressure going into turn 1 this time. We've got the Alpines battling in the back. See if I can keep up with all the action today. Looks fair. Coming off of turn 1, Alex still has a lead, creating a little space, about half a second on P2. King James behind him, he's got Nizam about the same distance. Steve Faulkner and Meep and the Red Bulls, Meep and Thick Scouts are running out the top 5 and 6. Looks pretty straightforward. Gonna keep an eye up front as they are the closest to each other. Coming out of the S's, let's see if he's got a run on him down the front straight after the next 2 turns. Oh, we got some teammate on teammate action going on. Looks like Fake Scouts got around Meat. King James setting the fastest lap at 107. We got a battle going on for P9. Naismith, he's under attack by both McLarens. Got to defend on Parker. Meanwhile, we got his teammate moving up into P7 in front of Carlos in the Ferrari. About half a second between P1 and P2. Trying to keep it in the DRS range to when they activate DRS. Hopefully on this step, I think. Ooh, see Fake Scouts are getting a little loose coming out the S's. What's going on here? We got somebody off. It's Naismith. Let's get him back going in the right direction. Down to P16. DRS has been activated though. Let's see if that helps King James close it in on Alex. On the back straight, looks like he's got more problems to think of. He's got Nizam coming up behind him. And C. Faulkner back there and Fake Scouts are in P5. Little DRS train in P1. Or up front. Looks like Double Rejected was passed by just Dave. Naismith making his way up through the grid again after that spin or trip off course. He gets around Sheepers, excuse me. Seems to be the closest battle. Checks inside on Parker, doesn't see it. He's going to stay behind for a little bit. Try to get a run up the front straight with some DRS. See what happens. Looks like we have another safety car. There's a second safety car, lap 7, and Naismith is out. Naismith is out, and we've got pit action immediately. As well as we got King James coming to the pits, as well as all the other leaders. Excuse me, my headphones, my mic keeps turning off for some reason, but we'll figure it out. Which funnels Neeson to P1, Meep in P2, Carlos Killer in 3, Parker 4, just Dave up to P5, followed by Devil Rejected in P6, Lil Majin in P7, DRL Alex in P8, King James, C. Faulkner, and Fake Scouts are coming out, and P8, 9, 10, and 11, conveying up to P12. and Miknovich, P13, Beko, Sheepers, I'm gonna always stumble over that name, Sheepers, and looks like Faisal in P16. Second safety car. Lap 8. Looks like we got some strategies going on here, different strategies going on. Let's see what the leaders have going on. We got Alex on the mediums, and like we got hards on King James and the Mercedes. Wants to have the race come back to him later in the race. DRL will probably try to, oh no, he's on hards too. I am mistaken. Those are mediums. So most of the leaders have on hards. Looks like we all got hards coming out. Got Dave jumping into the pits. On and off with the hards. Decent time. Time to catch up to the rest of the pack. So, Nizam leads the pack, P1. Meet P2, Carlos P3, Parker P4, and Devil Rejected, rounding out the top 5. Most wins on this course here in Austrian Grand Prix. We got Nicky Lauda, Rene, Arnaud, Nelson PK, and Valtteri Bottas with 3 wins apiece. Let's see, I wonder how new those tires are. Where's she going? So we got Nizam up 2 positions, starting in P3 on the race. Safety car coming in this lap. And the biggest mover of the day so far, Devil Rejected. Hopefully, he's got that strategy going with the tires. So if you lose about 20 seconds on a pit stop. The top 5 have not stopped yet, so they're gonna want to create some space for those leaders as we're going green again. Looks like Noob's going down on the inside of Nizam. He gives him space. He does a switchback, and let's see if he can take it down. Straight. He's looking inside. But on his inside, he's got Carlos coming in on to the hairpin, and they keep it clean and on the track. But he's not letting go of that position that easy. He slides back in front of Carlos. But here, Carlos comes back on the inside again, and he makes it stick. Carlos is up to P2. We got Miknovich making a move. Little Man losing, Lil Majin losing 2 positions to Miknovich, and Beko. Looks like he wants to try to get it back, though. No, he's losing another position. A little off pace, not sure what's going on there, but he looks like he's losing more and more pace as he loses more positions. Now he is down to P16, which would be proverbial last, being that nobody else is racing now. And we have a 3-second penalty for me for possibly corner cutting. Devil Rejected. Looks like he's getting moved on by King James with fresher tires on the inside of turn 3. And he's got it. Another mover is Stick Scouser getting in front of C. Faulkner. And looks like the fresh tires are making the move up to the front pretty quickly as the inside of C. Faulkner goes Stick Scouser. So we got a on board with Kavalen. He's watching the Devil Rejected and see Faulkner about to go on in front of him, and looks like we got somebody off track. Is it to go off track? He just lost the position, but he stayed on track. Got off track there, but he's back on. Might have got a warning for that, as he loses a spot to Kavalen. Down to turn 1 to seal the deal. Let's see if he can get it back. Oh, he's under pressure again. Got a lot of action with him. Meanwhile, we got King James moving up into P5 before the hairpin. And the battle continues up front. Even though Meep has the 3-second penalty, he is sticking with the battle. So there's a position that Carlos takes first. Behind them, Alex is getting underneath him to take P3. Got out of action as the leaders with the new tires are moving their way up front. Lots of action going on. Back to Valen getting testy with his teammate as he passes him for P7 on the inside, and looks like Scout is going to take advantage as well and go around the outside of that too. Onto the last turn, and he makes it stick. We also got Miknovic moving around, double rejected as well. Moving down the ladders, it looks like it might be time for a pit stop as the new tires are making their way up. Lots of action. Lots of action. King James moving up past Nizam, past me into P3, and he is right on the tail, on the end of the gearbox of the Ferrari going into turn 4. He checks, he settles down for a little bit. He's going to save it for another turn. Ooh, a little contact in the back as he makes his way around into P2 around the Ferrari. He's got one more Ferrari to go to make it to P1, and let's see if that happens. Looks like he is on the tear right now with those fresh hard tires. About 2 laps old. 3-second time penalty for Faisal, I'm assuming. Oh, multiple warning for cutting the track. Rejected is coming into the pits, and we've got a slew of pit goers. Both McLarens. Looks like they're going to double stack. Oh no, one stayed out, but he is getting a new wing. Rejected finally making his pit stop to get those tires off, get some softs on there, make some ground up. Meanwhile, up at the front, got a lot going on up front. Alex is still up in the lead. King James in second. Carlos third. Meep fourth. C. Faulkner rounding out the top 5. Then we have Nizam, Parker, Just Dave, Becco, Kavalin, Fake Scouser, Double Rejected, Lil Margine, and Sheeper rounding out the rest. 6-14. Safety car. Safety car, and why do we have one? What has happened? Can't find out what happened. Looks like we missed something, but Miknovic is out, so I am assuming that Miknovic has had an issue. Alright. Leaders coming back into the pits. Alex in the pits. Ferrari double stacking. Oh, it looks like they're going to pull it off. They did pull it off. Nizam is coming into the pits. Great placed safety car for Nizam, as well as Carlos. He is up into P5 now. Looks like that really benefited a lot of cars on that safety car. Looks like a couple were hoping for it and a couple got it. Anyway, third safety car. Third safety car. So I had some more audio issues here. Third safety car, lap 15. A little over half distance gone by. A little less than half distance left to go. King James has filtered up into P3 after the pit stops. P1. Just Dave in P2, Alex in P3, Meep P4, Carlos Killer P5, Nissan P6, Parker P7, Kavalin P8. C. Faulkner, P9. Devil Rejected, P10. Lil Majin, Sheepers, Becco, and Fake Scouser, P11 to 14. Meep is still holding on to that 3-second penalty. Looks like that's going to be added to the end of the race time. When you get the warnings and you get a penalty after that, you typically don't get to serve that in the pits. You have to get that added to the end of the race, unfortunately, which if somebody is closer to him can take that position over. As a lot of people do know already, but also a lot of people don't know. So depending on who's watching, you're welcome. Austrian Grand Prix has possibly the quickest lap time across all tracks on the F1 calendar. It is definitely the track with the fewest corners on the calendar, with just 10 turns to make up the entire layout. Alright, looks like they are slowing the field as the pace car has skedaddled on out of here, and we're going to get going again. King James looks like he is picking his time to go wisely. Get those tires warm. Just Dave is keeping them close as he's going into the turn 10, and looks like he's caught Just Dave off guard as Alex is right up behind him. The pit window is open for most mediums, but that is all out the window now as we're on our third safety car. Green light. Oh, we got some contact behind him. DRL Alex has passed me, and so has passed Just Dave, and me has as well. Going down into the hairpin. Got Meep going on the inside of Alex. And they're going side by side, touching wheels down the straight. Down into turn 5, and let's see if he is not letting that position go. Split strategies here, one on mediums, one on softs, and they are side by side, and they are touching every chance they get. But Alex keeps P2. Meep in a close P3, but again with that 3-second time penalty, we can see him fall very far down the grid unless he creates some distance behind the rest of the field. Just as I say that, looks like he is on the gearbox of the Mercedes and King James going into turn 1. Cavalli and McLaren setting the fastest lap at 1:06.5 as he's going onto the inside of his teammate. And down to the hairpin in turn 3. See if he can get it back. Oh, looks like, who was that? I missed it. Looks like Neeson had a little off-road excursion. Ooh, Scouts are down in P13. Don't know what happened. I don't see any damage. He's still going full beams on the throttle, and he is. Some side-by-side action going into turn 9, approaching turn 10. We got Alex going in the outside of King James to take the lead out of P10 down the front straight. Let's see if King James has something to say about that as DRS is enabled. After turn 1, he's going to get a little gift of DRS down the back straight. Didn't get a good exit out of the turn 1, but he is exercising his rights with that DRS going into turn 1, or turn 3 actually, the hairpin. And he makes the stick, forces him a little outside, and Alex is going to lose 2 positions. Meep into P2, Alex into P3, and King James up into P1 again. As he is not done yet, Meep takes over P1. You may have heard me when I said he needs to create some distance with that penalty, or maybe he knows better. But he's up in P1, already creating about a half a second gap. King James is defending hard, going into turn 9. But Alex is going to stick behind him for a minute. Maybe about a half a second. Healthy dose of DRS coming up for Alex. And he is using that to go on the outside of King James into P2. And makes it stick. King James is coming back, and so is Alex to Meep in P1. Dives on the inside. And he gets it, goes off track. They'll get the position right back to Meep. Comes back on with DRS. King James on his tail, and he is on Meep's going into turn 4. And he slots right back into P2. Oh, gets a little loose coming out. Drops down to P4. The McLaren is going up right behind King James into the podium position. That McLaren's been on the move. He has been up the grid quite a bit and got lucky with a safety car or two. Either way, he's up in P3, looking on the inside of King James. No, he dips back in. Coming off this last turn here, he's going to get a healthy dose of DRS. As he does, and as King James does, doesn't matter. McLaren goes into P2 into turn 1, gets a little loose. Keeps it straight. King James has a run on him, but he's got a run coming behind him with Alex. They're going side by side. Let's see if they make it 3 abreast. They don't. But on the inside, on the outside, King James goes side by side. Contact everywhere. And Carlos has come into play with all that action. Looking on the inside of his teammate. 2 Ferraris going into 1 corner, but they keep it safe. Meanwhile, Meep up in P1 with a quarter of a second lead, and he hopes to make it at least 3 seconds as he has that penalty hanging over his head. I'd hate to see all that hard work into P1 go away with a penalty. Let's see if he can keep it. And speaking of penalties, Devil Rejected earns his first penalty. Looks like somebody's got a run coming out of the last turn. And he sure does. It's Alex going, oh, he's dipping back inside. He's going to wait for his second serving of DRS down the straight. Tucks in right behind him. James has no choice but to let that by as he's going way too fast with that DRS. Keeps the position up into P3. Kavalan has closed the gap dramatically to Meep as he may have a run on him down into this turn, and he does, and he does it convincingly. Into P1 goes the McLaren. Meep slots back into P2. Alex in P3. King James down into P4. Carlos in P5. And we have an Alfa Romeo off course. And we also have Nissan off course. The Williams is off. Looks like we had multiple people off just now. 3-second time penalties going on all over. About half the field have penalties now. Just Dave's going to dive into the pits. See if he needs, if it's routine or if he needs a win. See if Faulkner also win. Nissan staying out. Doesn't feel like he needs anything. Looks like they're going routine, going on to the soft, and he's back out. Meanwhile, up front, we have a battle on our hands, a 3-way battle as Alex with the super DRS. Alex in the Ferrari comes with a super DRS move. Double pass into P1, Meep and Kavalan. Meanwhile, keep the battle going with each other through the S's, and it looks really close, guys. Really close. But they are keeping it clean. A little tire rubbing didn't hurt anybody. Into the penultimate turn, now into P10, or turn 10. DRS is coming. Let's see what he can do with it. We'll go ahead and move the gap to the leader. 33 seconds from 1st to 14th. As this battle here is continuing for more than a few turns. So Meep funnels into P2, Valen into P3. Looks like he may have King James coming up on him in P4. Want to get back to the front. Oh, McLaren goes off a little bit, leaves some space, but King doesn't take it. Might want to take that DRS coming up on the front straight. Oh, we got a spin coming out of turn 9. It looks like it's Kavalan. He had a good run. He whips it back around as Meep hits the pits finally. Tough break for the McLaren. Down to P8. Did make a couple spots back with the pit stops, but would love to be back up on the podium. Got the battle up front. We got first and second. We got P1 and P2 with the Ferraris up front. King James is looking to change that. Looks inside. Carlos leaves space, and King James back up to P2. Meanwhile, Alex has created some space, and he is up almost 4 seconds. Out of turn 10. Going down for the Niki Lauda curve. Parker makes his pit stop. Trying to get everybody some good screen time here. And off of the mediums, on with the sauce, and he is out. Looks like good timing with an optimal pit stop. Nissan is in. Sheepers is out. And just Dave into Niki Lauda. P10. Parker coming out right in front of him. Has no DRS again, had nobody within a second on him coming into the Niki Lauda, but he does have somebody within a second of him in front of him. And it stays that way. Looks like we have some trouble in sector 1. Don't know what that was. We got Meek in P8 about 6 seconds behind P7, which is Lil Majin, who gets a little loose coming out of turn 10. The Red Bull Mobile, okay. Let's see what's going on back here. We got Carlos up in P3, which means King James. I always want to say Kevin James. King James has made it past Carlos. Meep receives his second 3-second penalty, which will be 6 seconds, which is a really, really unfortunate situation. Carlos trying to go the long way. Can't make it happen. King James keeps P2. Alex is in P1. Got a 5-second lead up in the P1 with 9 laps remaining. Got just Dave making a move around Parker, who has just made a pit about a lap ago. He does not want to let that position go, but he has conceded that position. Sticking behind him. Just Dave has had an interesting up and down race, but right now he's in P9 in the points. More time penalties served out of the Red Bull turn. Last turn. Parker will be all in his rear views and up next to him as he has DRS and makes the pass before the Nicky Lauda turn 1 and McLaren up into P9. On the outside of the Mercedes goes the Ferrari, and contact. They slow each other up. Looks like Scout is going to take advantage of this, making 2 positions up going on the inside of the Ferrari and the Mercedes, up in to P2, onto the podium. 8 laps to go. What a move! And these two are still going at it. Williams, McLaren. Rejected has also had an up and down race. Right now he's just outside the points, but not too far behind. He's got on mediums. They might last a little longer than the softs that are in front of him right now, P10 and P9, with the Williams and the McLaren. We'll hope for the best with him, as Sheepers is in P12. C. Faulkner right behind him with DRS in P13. And here we go. Looks like the McLaren receives a 3-second time penalty. Looks like we got on everybody but about 6 drivers out of the 13 left in the field. Looks like C. Faulkner got around Sheepers. May have missed a little bit of action as the Ferrari Carlos is down into P5 and Becco up into P4 just off the podium in the Alfa Romeo, and he's off track, but he does have a run in DRS behind King James going into turn 1. King James will have a second serving of DRS as Big Scouser does not have DRS because Alex is in the league of his own right now. About an 8.5 second lead. Back to P2. 6 laps to go. And it's looking like a runaway for Alex. Been a part of some good battles, but he has definitely put his foot down in what some would call hammer time and has pulled away. Meanwhile, King James is looking to get that position back from Fake Scouser. And Becco is trying to stay into DRS with King James to maybe get a run later on in the track and gain some position on the podium. Meanwhile, Meep is making his way around. Let's go ahead and see what these penalties have going on. We're going to keep it like this so we can see that build-up and see what they have to do to keep these positions. Meanwhile, Meep has a good run on Kavalan, and he might make it stick. Going on the outside of him into turn 3, he does, but also has to serve that 9-second penalty at the end of the race. Unfortunately, we've got Fake Scouser getting passed by King James to retake second place. But he's not making it easy. But he makes it stick, keeping P2. And in hopes that a mistake happens with Alex. Which the remaining races actually doesn't let them make many mistakes, so that's a big hope. But he does have heat coming down behind him with Fake Scouser, Becco, and Carlos both having DRS behind this tiny DRS train down this straight. But looks like he's gonna, no, in the remus he doesn't make that. let's see if Parker can make it stick going around the outside of Just Dave. He looks like he keeps on the track, and ooh, a little contact, and they are still side by side going into turn 9. He's got position on the inside. That turn is his for the taking, but he doesn't quite get the exit out of turn 10, and he loses 2 positions to Just Dave and C. Faulkner down into P11. Looks like that Ferrari has a run coming out of the hairpin. Meanwhile, on the Mercedes, doesn't make it happen. Stays in P3, stays with DRS, stays within attacking range of the Mercedes. These two are going at it. Lil Man, or Lil Majin, Lil Majin in P8, giving Kvalen a headache back there, or just a little bit. C. Faulkner is trying to stay close. We got a little over 2 laps to go, and we've got penalties all over the place. This grid is going to be shuffled quite a bit at the end of this race, being that it is so close from 1st to 13th. And all in between. Ooh, Sheepers had a look on Devil Rejected, but he didn't make it stick. Meanwhile, the leader, DRL Alex, first place, 2 laps left. Going into the US pairs with a 10.7 lead, second lead, in front of King James, who has not had an easy go to keep that position, as he has been attacked relentlessly by the Ferrari in P3, and Fake Scouser, and Need for 2 Red Bulls, giving him a headache up front. Becco, back behind Meep about 1.3 seconds. He's got a 3-second penalty. Meep has a 9-second penalty. As long as he stays within, let's do the math, 6 seconds, he can gain a position, as the washout in penalties between P6 and P7 makes them completely even. So it looks like if Lil Majin stays within 6 seconds of Meep, he will also gain position. Kvalen has a chance to pick up a few spots here if he could really put the hammer down on these last 2 laps. Meanwhile, up front, it was close. He's in DRS range. Let's see if he can utilize that to make a move coming off into the front straight, as this is the last lap actually, and he could not use the DRS to get past King James, but he has another helping down the front straight. He is using his overtake to stay in front of him, well defended by King James going into the hairpin. Probably the best opportunity for Carlos to take that position. One more helping of DRS, but he can't make it happen. We got Parker making position on C. Faulkner. And C. Faulkner getting it back as they're going 3 wide down into the turn 5. And looks like, woo, Just Dave with a big move as Alex is coming across the finish line for P1 with a hefty lead, about 11 seconds down to P2. P2 King James is going to look like he's going to hold on to P2, and P3 will be the Ferrari. Looks like a double podium for the Ferraris, Meep and P4, but he will serve that 9-second penalty. Double Rejected gets another penalty, and so does Parker. Coming into the last turn is, at the last turn. that should do it, ladies and gentlemen. Great race. Great battles all over. Congratulations to DRL Alex with the win. King James in P2 in the Mercedes. And rounding out the podium is the other Ferrari and Carlos Killa. Again, so P1 DRL Alex, P2 King James and Carlos Killa, and the second Ferrari for their Ferrari double podium to round out the podium. We got Big Scouser, Cavalli rounding out the top 5, Becco, Lil Majin, Meep after his penalties down into P8 unfortunately, C. Faulkner P9, Just Dave P10, Sheepers, Parker, Double Rejected, and Nissan rounding out P11 to P14. Lots of action up and down the grid today, and very unfortunate drivers at the end. We seem to have lost about 7 drivers total, but a full grid to start the race nonetheless. Thank you for listening. This is my first commentating job, and I hope I did well enough for you guys to want to listen again if I ever want to do it again. So, I did have fun though. It's been real. Until then, you guys have a great evening. I am going to go hop on because I have a race coming up tonight too. See you then.